The silence is quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we would take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up. I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Good afternoon. You're tuned into Ability Matters, the program that covers matters to do with abilities, disabilities and everything in between. We are one of the longest running disability-related shows in the world, starting as Headway on air all the way back in 2007 and now brought to you by My Home Living Care, an NDIS registered disability support organisation.
Yes, that's right, Sean. I'm Tony. I'm your host, Tony Scott-Emilio.
And I'm Bec, Tony's co-host from Flagstaff. How are you today, Tony?
I'm going well, thanks, Bec. And you're all smile, so you can't be lying and say you're not feeling good.
I'm having a pretty good day.
Good stuff, good stuff. And what do we have on today for today?
Okay, well, today we have Tim in from Gateway Life, and he's going to have a little bit of chat with us about what they do there. How are you today, Tim?
I'm fantastic, thanks, Bec. Thanks for having me today.
No, all good. Keen to share with everybody out there what you do at Gateway Life. It sounds like a really great place that a lot of people would probably like to go.
Yeah, so that's good. So should we? I think we're going to open up. Well, it's about 3 minutes past the hour of 12 p.m. So I'm going to open up with some. I've got to say thank you, Tim. It was a great 2 hours of your show today. Good stuff. You're actually here to hear me say thank you. Good stuff. And all the smiles, lovely. Good to see. And time is like 3 minutes past 12. So I'm just going to. And the weather, if you look outside, is looking pretty dismal at the moment. I'm sure Tim would have said that we're expecting light showers it's pretty overcast. So we're expecting light showers for the remainder of today. And the officially it says over here for Wollongong for Tuesday, cloudy, medium chance of showers, becoming less likely late this afternoon and throughout the evening as well, with only light winds. Although a 70% chance of rain, 1 to 5 millimetres, with no fire danger, obviously. However, there's a very high UV index, so slip, slop, slap and all that jazz, and yeah, good stuff.
Oh, don't you remember when we were little, they added slip, slop, slap, wrap.
And yeah, okay.
Wrap on a
pair of shades.
Wrap on a shirt.
I thought it was wrap on a pair of shades.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter, hey. Different generations.
Something, it's forever changing.
Oh, no worries. Well, I'm going to open up today's show with a classic from the 60s. We all know Johnny Rivers with Secret Agent Man from 1966 from the self-titled album, also named Secret Agent Man. So here we go. A bit of a Toto after that, and we'll see how we go throughout the day, okay? Yes, and that was just Toto with Rosanna from 1982. And we've just had some hot stuff in here off the presses now. We have some exciting news from some regular guests and friends of our show. Obviously from Bungie. Now, this Bungie, they have a new program called Bungie and Principal Brewing. Bungie and Principal Brewing have teamed up to create Bungie Brews. Yes, you heard right, listeners. Bungie Brews, as in Bungie drinks, brews, beers, that sort of thing. A new exclusive beer that promotes an inclusive in the workplace and the importance of employment of people with a disability. As a part of a collaboration, Bungie's Launchpad participants will spend a morning learning about the operations of Principal Brewing, from beer brewing and canning to customer service and how to pour the perfect beer, if they ever. I've never had that possible.
I don't know. Don't you have to have the big, good inch head on the top? Yeah.
I've only ever seen it
I
on
don't
TV,
know.
yeah.
I don't drink beer.
It's a good aim, but yeah, always aim for the best, and then where you land is always a good place in the middle. So beautiful. Aim for the perfect beer. Good stuff. Anyway, the beer itself will be sold to raise awareness and support employment of people with disability. Now, get your pens and paper ready, people. The date for this thing to happen is that Tuesday, the 26th of November, 2024. The time is 10 a.m. Where is probably more important. Principal Brewing, that's 103 Princes Highway, Fairy Meadow, New South Wales 2519. Everyone always knows that as Princess Highway, but it's Princes. Wow.
Princes, yeah.
Yeah, Princes Highway.
I don't know if that was to do with Prince Charles being here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the whole politics of it.
Maybe even the prince before that. I don't know.
Just follow that. For more information, you can always contact Bungie General Manager Ryan Kittle on 1300 291 097. Now, I'll do my best to try and read that out again before the end of the show, but yes. Anyway, let's go back to the interview, shall we?
No worries.
Tim.
Sounds like a great initiative, Tony. Thanks for sharing
Good
that
stuff.
with everyone.
Thanks for your email, Gerald. Good stuff.
Okay, so I suppose we're going to jump straight into it, Tim, and get this show on the road.
Let's get it going.
Okay, so my first question for you today is, how did Gateway Life come about?
That's a great question. So Gateway Life is a division, if you like, of another community organisation called Community Gateway. And Community Gateway started life about 38 years ago. It actually came out of Wollongong City Council as a community organisation specifically existing to provide support for community members who may be on an aged care package, requiring support and assistance just to maintain their independence as they grow older, and more recently as a registered NDIS organisation providing support for people with a disability. Now, some years ago, the board had the vision that everything that they do is kind of reactive, and they were hoping to be able to provide better services for people to better manage their existing chronic illness or conditions, or to improve their overall health and wellness for anybody, generally in particular age groups and of health and ability conditions. So that's the whole purpose behind Gateway Life, as a support for those community members who need to improve and want to improve their health and wellness.
Wow, that sounds like a great, I just used the word initiative. It's a great way for Gateway or Community Gateway to expand their services into the whole community and not just be focused on the age stuff anymore.
Absolutely correct. And whilst we are a bricks and mortar, a traditional facility that I'll talk a little bit further about later on, we've leveraged some of the benefits of technology in terms of being able to increase the services that we can provide remotely, even being able to do that via telehealth. So much more than just the traditional bricks and mortar model.
Awesome. That's excellent. I'm keen to hear more. Okay, so the next one I wanted to ask is specifically about you. And what is your role there as the general manager?
So as general manager, it's pretty much a little bit of everything. Ultimately, I'm accountable for all of our service delivery and our results. And those results are not just growing our business and providing more of our services to people who can benefit from what we offer, but more importantly, it's to ensure that the people who do come and use our services already, whether that's being able to access our gym or utilise the allied health clinic that we operate, or even come in and use our café, a really important passion of mine is to make sure that we're providing the best possible services and support that we can. So there's a lot more involved as the general manager. The buck stops with me, but it's actually a very rewarding role to have and something I'm quite passionate about.
Excellent. Sounds like you do a lot of stuff there as well, like look after a lot of different things.
Passion is always important.
It's the most important thing as far as I'm concerned. It's
Lovely
important.
to hear.
We all have to do something to get by, but if you can connect that to passion and purpose, then it makes every day less about a job and more about doing something that makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's good to have something that you like doing as well as just something that you're doing, because that you invest a lot more effort and energy into making sure everything comes out the best it could possibly be.
Exactly.
Right. Jinx.
Wow. Haven't heard that since primary school.
Did we want to go to a couple of songs now,
Beautiful.
Tony?
Okay, well, let's just go back to this. It's on the cusp between the 80s and 90s. This is from Bad English, Best of What I Got, from their album Bad English, of course. I actually heard it in the movie Tango and Cash the other day from 1989, so that's what inspired it. So let's have a listen, shall we? Yeah. And yes, that was just the Talking Heads with Burning Down the House from the album, let me just double check, from the album Speaking in Tongues from 1983. Great little Aussie band there. Lovely stuff. That's my 80s double just then, so not Aussie.
I don't think they're Aussie. I think they're American, maybe.
Aussie-like.
Yeah. Aussie-esque, we'll say.
We loved them,
Momentary lapse of reason just then, yeah, it's okay.
That's all good.
Yeah, we just had a little bit of trivia over there. Something to do with Tom Jones covering it with the Cardigans.
Yeah, yes, they did that. I think in the 90s. Yes. They may have brought that one out because Cardigans were famous for their Loveful song.
Yes,
and everyone knows who Tom Jones is, so I don't think I need to refer a song from him.
60s man classic, yeah.
Yeah, so they teamed up and they did a duet on that song.
Okay, so back to the interview, shall we?
Thank you very much,
and for
Tony.
listeners who are just tuning in, this is the interview between Bec and Tom.
Tim.
Sorry, Tim.
Close.
You've got Tom Jones on the brain now.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you represent the...
Gateway Life.
Gateway Life, yes.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony. My next question for you today, Tim, would be, where are you located? Because I know you've got a bit going on there.
So our fantastic facility is located in Kira Street in Wollongong. And in fact, some of your listeners may remember an old version of our building which used to be Zoom, an indoor play centre.
Oh.
So many people who come and visit us for our cafe or our clinic or for the gym actually remember when they used to go with their kids or their grandkids when it was an indoor play centre. So
wow, so there's a bit of history behind that building as well.
Yeah, it's quite iconic around Wollongong, and one of our benefits is not only being central to town, we've actually got something that's almost rare these days, and that's considerable off-street parking. Parking around Wollongong's getting a lot harder, as everybody would know, but we're also close. We're only about 100 metres from a bus stop, so we've also got great public transport connections as well.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, I think it might even be, 400 or 500 metres from North Wollongong train station as well. So
yep, I think you're right.
For a little bit of a stroll there as well.
And what I would probably add, Bec, that whilst that's our bricks and mortar, we also provide services in other locations. So in partnership with Community Gateway, we use their facilities in Nowra and are just about to start running some programs and providing some services on a weekly basis out of Nowra as well for anybody in the Shoalhaven area.
Oh, that will be exciting to hear that as well. So I suppose that's going to lead in great to my next question. Could you tell us about the facilities that you have available there? There's a whole different array of things that people can get involved in.
So if I pick up on what I shared previously about the vision behind opening Gateway Life, it was to assist with the proactive health and wellness support. So in terms of what we offer, there are three different parts to our business. One is an allied health clinic. So we've got a number of treatment rooms and we provide physiotherapy, dietitian support, occupational therapy and exercise physiology. So they're just some of the teams that we have, some of the allied health clinicians that we have in the building. And we also have probably the most advanced gym definitely in the region. And Bec, I know you've seen it.
It's wonderful. I was a bit shocked.
I like how you just did that then. We have probably and definitely in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Awesome.
See how quickly I upgraded? We definitely have.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm confident in saying that, Tony, is that we've made a significant investment, given the community members we want to support. We've made a great investment in both technology and the equipment that makes it easier for somebody who may have mobility challenges.
A little less able, yes.
Less able, absolutely, but also recognising that somebody who may be a little older may never have actually joined a gym before. But as we get older, from 50 years of age onwards, we need to change and be more proactive in preparing ourselves for older age.
And have a more inclusive mindset. Is that the one there?
Absolutely, 100%. And that's not just in our physical infrastructure, in our gym equipment, but it's also in the personal trainers that we employ, our clinicians. We understand and we're passionate about providing more than just, we're not just a business, we're a not-for-profit organisation, we're a community asset, and that really comes through in the amazing team that we have. The other part of the business is equally important, and it's our café. We understand that social isolation is an important challenge for many people in our community. So there's nothing...
And nothing gets people better than a cup. Nothing brings people together better than a cup of coffee, does it? Or a cup of tea.
Particularly when you've got...
Slice of cake too, don't forget that.
Of course.
We've got great cake and the best coffee in Wollongong. And it's actually fantastic. Before I left the office this morning, we'd had a group of about 8 who had just finished an exercise class, and then they put the tables together in the cafe and always enjoy the great social interaction that comes after a little bit of exercise, and that's really unique.
Bit of a wind down,
but very important. Well, depends. Some of the blokes, they actually get wound up more, I think, once they are in that social environment, but it's a lot of fun.
I want to just take you back for a moment to the equipment, because when I went there, I noticed a really great feature that you have got where you can remove parts of the equipment so people can actually get their walkers in or actually get in closer if they need to.
Exactly. So we have, as I mentioned, made a significant investment, and it's not just the accessibility, but it's also the technology. So we have, you might recall, we have 9 different exercise machines where you physically don't need to do anything other than put your key card next to the machine. The weights will automatically be loaded based on your program and your goals. The seat will adjust to your height.
Adjust your settings, yeah?
Exactly right. And that's all individual. So, Bec, you could use one of the items of equipment and do your workout. It's even got a screen that guides you as to what you can be doing.
Wow.
And then when you finish, that's a 30-second session. You'll finish that. It'll actually tell you on the screen to move to the next station. And then when I start behind you, that first station has already adjusted specifically to me, my height, my program,
Amazing.
All driven by the computer system.
That just takes the term personal trainer to the next level, doesn't it?
Well, it's an important point. If you join most gyms, quite often all you get is access to the environment. If you need education, if you need assistance, if you need help in achieving your goals, you actually usually have to pay extra for that, and that can be quite expensive. So we've tried to be sensitive, particularly in the current environment where budget is so important to everybody.
So true.
It's so important to us that we provide a fantastic service but do it in a way that's budget friendly. I think a lot of people assume that if you're on the NDIS, then you've got a bunch of money and you can go and afford everything.
Yeah, the government can pay for everything.
Exactly, and we actually realise that's nowhere near the case. So,
especially not now. They're cutting it down. They're cutting it down hardcore.
So exactly. So it's a core part of not just Gateway Life, but also Community Gateway, that we understand, regardless of cost of living pressures that we always hear about, that the people that need our support the most always have a budget question every day.
Yeah, okay. So, great thing that we've got going there. I feel like it's something that's been missing from the community for such a long time.
Okay, we've got some Bill Withers coming up with Just the Two of Us, featuring Grover Washington Jr. from the year 1980. And we might all remember this one from any of the Austin Powers film we may have seen, but then again, may not have. So let's have a listen to it right now. So here we go. Yeah. Yes, as I just said before, that was Bill Withers with Just the Two of Us from 1980, featuring Grover Washington Jr.
And just to recap from your little Austin Powers thing, I think that was the scene where Dr. Evil and Minnie sang together a duet.
A duet.
Just the
correct.
two of us,
yes. I didn't go that far. I didn't quite say which scene in particular, but you got a good memory there, Ben.
All I can remember from that is how deep Minnie-Me's voice actually was when he spoke. So,
you and I.
Yeah, it was really deep. Mm-hmm. So now I'm just going to ask you, Tim, are you open to everyone in the community? Because I know it's a big thing that we either are just NDIS or we're just the community, but is it for everybody?
It's a fantastic question. The short answer is yes, but.
Oh, yes, but.
So there are no shortage of gyms. If I just talk about the gym, there's no shortage of gyms or allied health clinics around Wollongong. I guess we need to stay focused on what makes us different and unique and who it is that we exist to best support.
Yeah.
So the way I cover it all is to say that if you're 50 plus or have chronic illness or pain, chronic injury that you're looking to deal with, if you have a disability or even other community members who are very passionate, I'm very passionate to support in terms of the military veteran community.
Oh, yeah.
As a veteran myself, we want to provide the right support and services to those members of the community. So if you cross a few of those things, I may have said 50 plus, but if you're 23 with a disability or 42 struggling with chronic pain and injury,
there's always a bridge
we're
somewhere
there.
along the line. Yes.
We're there for you. And I think if I can just expand that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Even though I mentioned we're a clinic and a gym and a cafe, education is also very important to us. We run a number of different initiatives and programs. So it's not just about coming in and using our gym or seeing our occupational therapist or physio. We run programs that provide assistance for somebody with diabetes or Parkinson's.
Okay, there's a big lot in between that.
Absolutely.
Of different things that you could possibly have. So.
Absolutely. So we're open to everybody, but very focused on who it is that we really want to be making a difference to support.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
I just wanted to touch quickly because you did mention there and you hadn't mentioned this to me before.
And I just want to break in as well once more. For those of you who are just tuning into, I forgot to do this earlier. This is Ability Matters with an interview between Bec and Tim, the Gateway Life. Gateway Life CEO, manager?
General manager.
Yeah, GM, that's one, yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to briefly touch on the fact that you said you're a veteran. What were you enlisted in?
I joined the Air Force a very long time ago, straight out of school. I grew up in Wollongong and in the 80s.
Wow.
I know.
Just near me, cool.
Badge of honour. I'm very proud of that part where I grew up. And back then, the BHP, as they were called back then, was still employing 20,000 people, and the coal mines were very active.
And it's Blue Scope now, isn't it?
Blue Scope now, but back then, none of those things.
The
good old days. One day a recruiting team came through the school. I loved what I saw and joined up within about 3 months, did an apprenticeship and spent 10 fantastic years. No, I wasn't a pilot.
That was going to be my question.
I knew it was. It's everybody's question, but for every pilot, there's probably 49 other roles that support putting that aircraft in the air.
Were you the guy that put the chocks behind the wheels of the aeroplane?
I'm sorry, Bec, but that's classified. I can neither confirm nor deny that. I joined as an instrument fitter, then became an avionics technician. So working on some great aircraft types and making some great friendships that exist still to this day. That's 30 or 40 years ago.
So to put it generally,
oh, wow.
More of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, yes?
Yeah, you could say that.
Keep everything moving.
Exactly right. Yeah. And that the disciplines that I learnt from a young age, I joined at 17, but a lot of the, whilst there are many challenges to my 10 years, the upside is it provided many disciplines that I just take for granted today, and has put me in a good position to now be doing what I do now with Gateway Life. Many of the processes, the disciplines, the way that we have a vision, the way that we work as a team towards a goal, the way that we work with others, we develop relationships and partnerships. That's another key part of my role as General Manager. There was an old military saying, the team works.
Yes.
And that's very much what I believe in and bring through to this day.
And you're bound to have a very efficient mindset now, aren't you?
I try.
Yes.
There's competing demands, and
yes.
again, using some of those military practices, the mission that I start out with today changes very quickly for things outside of my control.
It's very impulsive, yes?
You can't control everything.
That's right.
What you can control is how you adapt to change in different situations. So what I thought I was going to achieve in my day, life just throws curveballs at you, and all you can do is recognise and adapt. And that's definitely a core part of my day job.
Trust me, I can relate to the whole curveball factor.
Absolutely.
I think that's actually a very good message, just even in general. And I think a lot of people with different conditions out there would actually be good to take that advice on, because a lot of things may change day to day. And it's the ability to go with the flow instead of hitting your head against the brick wall, I suppose you could say. That's
one of the things, sorry, Tony, that's one of the things that I really enjoy seeing and I'm committed to growing with Gateway Life, and it's building a community. So I had a laugh last week when there was a class going on, in one of the exercise classes was going on in the gym, and I was doing a tour for a veteran friend of mine, and he's just naturally cheeky, and in the middle of this class that was going on, this guy decided to get involved and get in the middle of it, and it created a few laughs, and that's important, having different community members being able to interact. It speaks a lot to that social engagement piece, that whether we have a disability or as we're getting older, we lose that social connection, and it's an important part for us to be able to do more than just give you a gym membership or treat you in our clinic.
Awesome. That sounds really fun.
And that gym membership thing is also always in exchange for a hefty fee, of course. Yeah. No, not with you guys. I mean, with other people. Yes.
Generally, and then you also had to pay the personal trainer on top of that.
Of course. Yes.
Exactly. But the approach that we take, and we're very much holistic, and by that I mean we don't just, if you're coming to the clinic or even to the gym, we dig really deeply to understand what is it really that you want to achieve. So if somebody's coming to see one of our allied health clinicians on a chronic health plan, we're one of the few organisations in Wollongong who, if your GP gives you or puts you onto a chronic health plan, that gives you access 5 appointments with an allied health clinician. We don't charge the Medicare gap. So we will provide the support that we can without you having to put your hand in your pocket. But if you're seeing one of our clinicians on an extended period and I've got a gym next door, then I'll also try and find a way to give you access to the gym outside of just when you're on site seeing our physio. That's our approach to that, treating as best we can the entire challenge that you've got, not just the one thing that the doctor sends you to see us
like
about.
An entire lifestyle package, I suppose you would say.
Exactly right. And it's why I also refer to health and wellness, not just injury, not just fitness. There's a mental health benefit to eating right. There's a mental health benefit to exercising. And we take all of that into account. Without being technical, it's the biopsychosocial. If we can wrap everything together.
It's the big package deal that everyone should get or needs. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So true.
And again, it's as much about education, being proactive. Don't wait until that little niggle gets worse. Don't wait until you keep putting things off, whether it's to improve your fitness. Start today.
approach it and treat it as soon as you can, yes?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
So true. So my wrap-up question for you, Tim.
Oh, we're out of time already? That's gone far too fast. I must be having fun.
Yeah, oh, that's good. I'm glad you're having a good time. How do our listeners get in contact to find out more? Because I'm sure there's people listening out there that would love to get involved, and especially I'm thinking maybe the older people that are listening and would like to get back out there and do something in the community.
And would like to maybe pass on the words over to another person who might be more interested, so have to have their correct details.
Absolutely. So the best way to get in contact with us is on our phone number, 1300 306 939. That's 1300 306 939. Or I'm also aware that, just because we're getting older, I've got a birthday coming up actually next week.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
In advance, yes.
Thank you. But I think there's a belief that older people don't necessarily access technology, or particularly people with a disability, but the opposite is actually true. So the other way to find out more about us is to go to gatewaylife.com.au.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that information.
www. front of that Gateway Life.
Thank you, Tony, for adding that. www.gatewaylife.com.au.
And I believe that's all one word, yes?
That is correct.
That's awesome. And I'm glad that you actually put alternate methods to get in contact with you, because a lot of people just seem to think that it's one way and they're missing out on so many people.
And the other way, of course, is to drop in to 65 Kira Street in Wollongong. Just come on in, grab Wollongong's best coffee, check the place out, and our fantastic team will always be available to help answer any questions and show you around.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming along and having a chat with us today, Tim. I feel like we've got so much information out of what you had to offer us here and tell us about Gateway Live.
And I know I'm speaking for the majority of people out there. I love a good cup of coffee, so that's
so true. Do not forget the cake. Cake has to go with the coffee.
And we've got a dietitian on board, so you can be confident that our cake is good for you.
Oh, that's nice.
The elusive healthy cake.
Well,
I don't know. I'm going to say healthy.
Healthier.
Okay, healthier. So it still has some strong flavour attached to it, yes?
Well, I need to be careful what I say because I'm not a dietitian, but when I say it's good for you,
that's good enough.
You could have a nice slice of cake, and if that makes you feel happy and makes your day brighter, that's good for you, right?
It's good for
everything is, yeah.
It's good for your level of morale.
There you go.
Your moral level. Love
yes, it. Totally. So I suppose I'll wrap up on my side and say thank you very much for listening to what we had today on Ability Matters, everyone. Have a great afternoon, and I'll let you close up with some music there, Tony.
Beautiful. I'm going to close off today. I've got a few different songs. We've got maybe 11 minutes till 1 p.m, so I've got to fit songs in for 11 minutes. So we're going to start off the first one to be with Billy Joel's Vienna from 1977 from his eponymous album, The Stranger.
Slow down, you crazy child.
Now, what was that last thing you forgot to mention there, Bec?
I'd just love to say that we're gonna have Tim back in a couple of months once everything's more established and he's got a lot more he can tell us about Gateway Life. So would you love to come back and have a chat, Tim?
Absolutely. We've got a great story to tell already, but it's only going to get better. So thank you both for having us on today.
Dare I say evolve over time, perhaps?
Everything's an evolution, Tony, and
Lovely.
We're like a good wine. We're only going to get better with time.
Excellent. I like the analogy.
Lovely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tony, and